It's Kayla from Luminous Lady Vintage, and I'm here again to talk to you about how to wear a hat, a vintage hat, and not feel like a fool. Last time we talked about a couple of hats, and I showed you how to wear them, but this time I wanted to go a little bit deeper, talking about how to really wear a hat and feel and look great. To wear a hat with confidence and a little bit of creative flair can make all the difference in the world. But you might say to me, how can I have confidence and creative flair if I don't feel like I have any self-worth or creativity in my bones? Well, back in 1980, I was taking a meditation workshop from my Zen teacher, Yvonne Rand. And she introduced to us the work of psychotherapist Virginia Satir, who worked with people on how to regain their self-worth. And the exercise that she gave us was really very intriguing. To start with, you get in a very meditative or mindful state of mind, where you're watching your thought process. And when the inner judge starts to creep up, you begin to identify that judge and recognize him, write him down in a journal perhaps, till you become quite familiar with the voice. When that voice shows up again to critique you, you can corral the inner judge, and this time create an image in a visualization for what that inner judge might look like. Perhaps a purple people eater with green spots wearing an outrageous fish hat, something like that, so that you'll identify that critic when he comes back. And from that point on, the way you slay that inner critique or inner judge is with a sense of humor. To wear a hat with confidence is the true way to wear a hat and not feel like a fool. Today's hat is a shocking pink hat from the 1940s. As you'll see, it has, from the back, it has a fitted crown and comes forward into this outrageous, wavy, spirally brim in hot pink that's piped with black velvet. It has a wonderful face veil, or eyeshadowing veil, that you can roll down for a little bit of mystery. And because it is one of the hats that is weighted in the front like so many of the 40s hats, it's really good to wear a hat pin, which I have in the back to help hold it in place. And today's hairstyle is called victory rolls. And I have long, heavy hair, so it's pretty easy for me to just roll them up and stick a few pins in them, and then put the remaining hair back here in a snood. And but you can do it in other ways. Back in the 1940s, women wore the snoods to keep their hair in place when they were working in factories and so forth, so they wouldn't injure themselves. And the victory rolls, oftentimes they used leftover nylons that had runs in them or something like that to actually roll the hair around. It was very funny at a CJCI convention I was at last year. We had a 40s dress-up night, and one of the women couldn't get her hair up, and she ended up using tampons to do the victory rolls. So you can use whatever to get that look. The handmade snood I purchased on Etsy, and it's a great way to bring your hair up into a very 40s looking style. And I thought it accented and went quite well with the hat. I'm wearing a 1940s original dress with this nice placket in it that has a little bit of the hot pink and lavender. I have on a 1943 Coro Duet, which is a very special kind of pin that actually you can wear it like this, or you can take it apart into two parts and wear one on each side of your bodice, or one on your shoulder and one on your hat. And it's really makes for quite an interesting look. There's a whole movement in England right now called Vintage Life, and the women are actually looking like this and wearing this kind of 40s look to work. Now I'm going to show you one more hat before we finish up here. This hat is a nice wool felt, black wool felt, again a 1940s hat, and again one of my favorite styles. It's got this really outrageous kind of twirling butterfly effect that you wear off to the side and add a little bit of a tilt forward. You can even tilt this kind forward a little more than I'm wearing it right now if you want to almost down over your face in kind of the baby doll hat effect of the 1940s. And I wanted to show you also this lovely jewelry that I have on. This is an Eisenberg original from 1940s, and it's pink and orange rhinestones. What a great combination with a little bit of the icing, the pave clear rhinestone icing on it, and the matching earrings. I also have with me a 1940s lizard purse, which is quite fabulous shape. I just love it. This came from my mother-in-law, who was a real fashionista, and it has a really lovely plexiglass clasp on it. All in all, a wonderful look. So thank you, and to remember to wear a hat and not feel like a fool. The best thing is self-confidence and some creative flair.